One of the most important tools for the home mechanic is a bike stand. This one here I've been using for a couple of years, the part tool PCS 9.2. I just received the PCS 4, a little bit of an upgrade. So let me show you the differences. PCS 9.2 is Part Tool's kind of entry-level repair stand. Adjustable jaws here, they've got rubber inserts in them. A pretty basic screw system, which can be a little bit of a pain if you're using some heavy bikes, because it can take a little bit of time just to screw it in whilst you're holding the bike. These rubber pads are replaceable, which is nice. They're pretty inexpensive, so you kind of got some serviceability there. On the side, it's a steel construction with an adjustable arm here. Now, one of the downfalls of this particular stand is that it's quite difficult to move the jaws, even though it's loose. And even though I just punched it through there, but it's still tricky. With a weight of a bike on it, it will be a little bit easier. There's more leverage to force the internals here to move, but right now, even though this is loose, I can barely change it. So, you know, a little bit of a design error there on Part Tool's behalf, but then again, this is the most basic bike stand, so you can get what you pay for. At least it is adjustable. One thing I do find though is when you have a heavy bike like an e-bike or a downhill bike, even though this is tight, they're just plastic internals and they can still slip, and then every half an hour you have to then readjust it, which can be a little bit annoying. But let me show you the rest of the stand. Okay, starting with the jaws, then the handle, which I just showed you. You got the adjustment for the height here. Unscrew that, you can slow it down. It's kind of in a, I don't know how you describe that. Like it's not oval, it's kind of like tapered at the back here to stop it twisting. And you can tighten up there. But what I found is these parts are all plastic and they can slip. There's only so much you can tighten it before the plastic starts to bend itself. You know, on some heavy bikes, again, like the top, this can slip a little bit and can be a little bit annoying, but again, you kind of get what you pay for. And again, with this on here, this is the adjustment to fold it away. This can definitely slip, especially if you're taking off some tight cranks. It's just not really enough pressure from the screw here, which can make it a little bit annoying, but this stand does fold up pretty small, so let me show you that. So we'll fold it up, we just undo the top one, slide it down, undo the bottom one, pull the legs up, and there you go. So it's, you know, pretty small. I like to store it underneath here. So kind of out the way, some positives, and that's pretty portable and it's inexpensive, but some negatives, and you know, it's not the best quality. So let's unbox this new one and we'll see the difference. If you're liking the video so far, smash that like button. Check the links down below to help the channel. Thanks. So just finished building it up. Quite a bit taller than the previous one I had. I didn't read the instructions, so I got some bits wrong, but overall went together fairly smooth. Some points I'm not too sure on, some points I am, so let me just talk you through them. Why don't we start with the dislikes? Well, this one's pretty expensive. I think it retails around 450 bucks Canadian, which is quite a bit more than the old one that I've used. And even for that price, still plastic components, which I'm not too stoked on, to be honest. I think this could have been, you know, these really need to be aluminum or something like that. There's a nylon shim under here, and I had to, when I first built it up, even when I clamp the back down, because it's plastic, it can only reach so much torque before the plastic starts to bend. So I had to apply carbon paste to the inside to get it to stick. But even then, now it still moves, which is kind of annoying. This color here, again, is plastic, which, I don't know. There could be a much better solution for that. Let's move on to the positives though, and there's quite a few more positives than the last one. This uses a much nicer system. It's a cam system, so you unwind it on a ball here, and then you just unhook it like that, and then it gives you extra space. So it's much easier to clamp in once you have a heavy bike. That's a really nice system. This particular stand comes with two different heads. This is the 105D, and I think this is the 105C. Don't quote me on that, but that's the older one. I would always recommend the 105D, and any park tool stand that you get with this, it comes with this cam, and it's just much more intuitive to use. Replaceable rubber inserts too, just like the original one. Again, pretty cheap to replace. Overall, it's a lot heavier, and I like the wide stance at the bottom. I'll show you that. It gives you a much wider stance. I think this is going to be a lot stronger and more stable. The floor rests, it's kind of a weird way to say it, but they are actually not drilled in the center, so you can twist these around and raise the stand front to back, left to right. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I'm sure these are replaceable too. Again, I haven't even put a bike in this yet, but it does feel a lot stronger. I like this clamp. These plastic parts, I'm not too sure. And also the bolts down here using an 11mm wrench, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, no, for being a bike company, this should be a 10 or a 12 because no bikes use an 11mm wrench. So that's kind of silly, but overall, it's not too bad. So these nuts here, down here, here, on this side too, they're all the 11 ones. Plus you need two 11s. So that's kind of ridiculous. Park tools to change that. This is the, I guess, cammed floor plug or floor rest. So as you move it, you'll raise the stand or lower the stand depending on if you go on the fat side on the floor or the thin side. So that's kind of cool. So there we have it, a brief review of my original PCS 9.2 and then the brand new PCS 4. Entry level, I guess you could say mid-level. This one does seem a lot sturdier, which I do like. But regardless, any bike stand is going to be necessary for you to start wrenching at home. So whatever you get is going to be good enough for a little bit, and as you progress your skills, you can look to buy an upgraded stand. But certainly something like this is going to be great to start wrenching. This particular one's going to be for sale, so if you're in Squamish, just look out for an ad on Instagram. I'll put it up it's a couple days. If you found this video useful, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, helps me immensely. I do offer a range of tubeless products. Just check out the links below, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.